welcome to the comfy zone. If you're passionate about transforming your living space with vintage charm, you've come to the right place. In today's video, we'll be exploring how to embrace the warmth and beauty of spring with vintage decor ideas that are sure to breathe new life into your home. If you love creative design and home makeovers, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss out on more exciting tips and inspiration. Let's dive in and transform your home for the season. Vintage decor is timeless and brings a sense of nostalgia and history into a home. There's something uniquely comforting about incorporating vintage items into your home, especially when paired with spring's natural freshness. Whether it's a well-loved piece of furniture, antique accessories, or retro textiles, vintage decor offers a rich tapestry of design that blends old-world charm with modern sensibilities. This spring, embrace the beauty of vintage by choosing items that reflect your personal style and offer a timeless touch that will never go out of fashion. Spring is synonymous with soft, light hues that reflect the season's gentle energy, and vintage decor is no exception. Vintage items in pastel colors like pale pink, soft lavender, mint green, and buttery yellow can make your space feel fresh and welcoming. Adding pastel accents, such as vintage floral wallpapers, antique porcelain vases, or pastel-colored linens, can help create a spring-inspired haven that's both vintage and vibrant. When styled together, these vintage pieces can give your home a refreshing yet nostalgic atmosphere, setting the perfect tone for spring. Floral patterns are a hallmark of vintage style, and they're an ideal way to usher in spring. Think about incorporating vintage floral prints in your upholstery, curtains, or throw pillows. These timeless patterns bring a touch of romance and elegance to any room. For a spring refresh, consider using floral vintage wallpaper or framed botanical prints for your walls. These elements can instantly transform a space, infusing it with the beauty of nature while maintaining a vintage, elegant feel. One of the most effective ways to give your home a vintage makeover is by bringing in retro furniture pieces. Mid-century modern chairs, antique wooden tables, and vintage sideboards are all fantastic choices for adding character to your home. This spring, give these pieces a refresh with light-colored finishes or upholstery in spring-friendly fabrics like linen or cotton. By mixing these vintage elements with contemporary decor, you create a balanced aesthetic that feels both familiar and fresh, perfect for the changing season. Mirrors are essential in any home decor, but vintage mirrors can bring something truly special to your space. Whether you opt for an ornate, gilded mirror or a simple antique one with a wooden frame, these pieces reflect not only light but also your style. Vintage mirrors work especially well in smaller spaces, making them feel larger and brighter. For spring, try placing a vintage mirror near a window to reflect natural light, giving your room a sunny, spring-like feel. Lighting is crucial to any room, and vintage lighting fixtures can add a lot of character. Think vintage chandeliers, classic table lamps with floral prints, or retro sconces with a soft, warm glow. In spring, you can update your lighting with pastel-colored shades or vintage-inspired bulbs for a more spring-appropriate vibe. By mixing these vintage lighting pieces into your decor, you'll create a cozy and inviting ambience that celebrates both the season and your vintage taste. Spring is the perfect time for a DIY project, and what better way to do that than by upcycling old furniture with vintage flair. Whether it's repainting an old dresser in soft pastel colors or refinishing a wooden chair with a floral fabric, these projects can inject new life into outdated furniture. You can also distress vintage furniture to give it a worn-in, charming look that perfectly complements the spring season. These small updates will give your home a vintage, personalized feel while refreshing your space for the season. Rugs are essential for anchoring a room and adding warmth, and vintage rugs are perfect for introducing texture and color. A well-placed vintage Persian rug, with its intricate patterns and rich hues, can instantly elevate the look of a room. For a spring twist, choose rugs that feature lighter tones or floral motifs. Vintage rugs also work beautifully in areas like entryways or living rooms, making them both practical and stylish additions to your spring decor. Shabby chic decor has a natural vintage charm that works wonderfully for spring. Soft, worn-out textures, faded colors, and antique accessories are perfect for creating a cozy, welcoming space. This style invites relaxation, offering an aesthetic that is as inviting as it is beautiful. Consider incorporating vintage lace curtains, distressed furniture, and floral accessories to embrace the shabby chic look. In the springtime, these elements create a light, airy atmosphere that feels both romantic and nostalgic. Your kitchen is a great place to infuse vintage decor and bring in a sense of charm and warmth. Look for vintage kitchenware like enamelware, antique mixing bowls, or vintage glass jars for storage. These elements can add personality and function to your space, and they're perfect for welcoming the spring season. Vintage-inspired kitchen accessories, such as floral tea towels or old-fashioned canisters, can help bring together the look of your kitchen while maintaining that vintage vibe. Spring is all about renewal and creativity, and vintage wall art can inject a burst of personality into your space. Antique paintings, botanical prints, or vintage posters featuring retro designs are all great ways to add character to your walls. These pieces can serve as a focal point in your living room, hallway, or bedroom. The combination of vintage art and spring-inspired decor can make your walls feel alive and vibrant, adding a sophisticated touch to your home. Another fantastic way to bring vintage into your home is by repurposing antique finds into functional decor pieces. For example, turning an old suitcase into a stylish side table or using vintage crates for storage are great ways to merge style with practicality. These repurposed items add a unique charm to any room while helping you maximize space. Whether you find treasures at thrift stores or flea markets, these items offer endless possibilities to refresh your home with vintage flair this spring. If you're lucky enough to have an outdoor space, why not embrace vintage decor there as well? Vintage garden chairs, tables, and planters can help turn your patio or garden into a spring oasis. Look for floral patterns or pastel-colored outdoor cushions that tie in with the season's vibe. Add vintage-style lanterns or hanging planters to create a cozy outdoor retreat. This spring, let your garden or patio be an extension of your vintage-inspired home, where you can relax and enjoy the beauty of nature. As we wrap up our journey into vintage spring decor, I hope you feel inspired to bring these ideas into your own home. Whether it's adding vintage florals, embracing shabby chic, or upcycling old furniture, the possibilities are endless. So, take the plunge and refresh your home for the season with vintage style. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button here at Comfy Zone for more design inspiration, and leave a comment below letting us know which vintage decor idea you're most excited to try. Thanks for tuning in, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.